If you like this video, please consider supporting the Oto Kano channel over on Patreon. Thank you. Hey there, how are you today? It is 21st of October, it's a Sunday, and I've had a week off making a vlog because I was making the massive Q&A video that you guys saw last Friday, which I will link up here, and I've now learned which side I should be pointing for that. So today is the first day back making the vlog, and I do have a confession to make, and that is that while I wasn't vlogging, I didn't draw or paint anything, which kind of goes to show, for me certainly, how powerful having the accountability of making the vlog really is. Although I haven't just done nothing in that time, I actually made some changes to my daily routine to help me be more creative and create time to be creative. One was that I gave up social media, so you might have noticed that I've stopped posting so much on social media, and I might be a little bit slower in getting back to you if you contact me on places like Instagram. Second thing I've started doing is meditation. It is really nice to get back into meditation. It is one of those things that I used to do every single day, and then I stopped when I started this channel. So it's really nice to be bringing back well-being practice into my life now that I've kind of got into a routine with this channel. I use an app called Headspace, and I will leave links to that in the description down below as well. It is the first method or app or teacher, whatever you want to call it, that has really worked for me. This week I finally received this platinum fountain pen carbon ink that I've been waiting for. This is the fountain pen that Ev from Eve Bolt uses to outline her drawings, and so I thought I'd give this pen a go. And I also got the carbon ink cartridges, which arrived like weeks before this one came. My plan is to use this in the sketchbook today to draw something, so I hope you want to come with me on that journey. For today's drawing, I decided to draw a building that houses two old bookshops in Jimbocho, which is in Kanda in Tokyo. It is an area that is well known for having lots and lots of second-hand bookstores, as well as brand new bookstores as well. The area is getting redeveloped a lot now, so it's quite hard to find these more old-fashioned buildings that are nice and short and has more characteristics. Judging from the signs on the outside, the shop on the left specializes in books relating to films, dramas, theatre, and also scripts for those things as well. The platinum fountain pen was fun to draw with, however it has kind of a mind of its own, as all fountain pens do. You tend to have to use them for quite a while until the shape becomes more suited to the way you write or draw. And I did struggle with that, so my lines are quite wobbly, but it was definitely fun to be drawing with the fountain pen because it was wobbly. About halfway through, I just thought, you know what, I'm just gonna stop fighting this and let the pen do its thing, and I'm gonna pick up the pace a little bit in drawing them and see what happens. And that got a lot easier, certainly emotionally, towards the end. Definitely looking forward to getting more practice in using this fountain pen to draw with. This sketchbook though really struggles with layers. If you are looking for a sketchbook where you're able to put more layers down, then I don't recommend this, because if you put more than one layer down, the surface kind of becomes grainy and blotchy and things. So I don't recommend if you are the multiple layers type of person. It was fun to draw a Japanese building. If you are interested in seeing more of me drawing Japanese buildings, then do let me know in the comments down below. Hey there, how are you? Today is Wednesday, and I have to admit I didn't create any art on Monday or Tuesday, and that is basically because I frightened myself out of creating art. I found a photo that I wanted to paint from of Okachimachi in Tokyo, and I thought I don't want to do it in a sketchbook because a sketchbook is a bit of a nightmare when you want to layer colors. Even a second layer gets messy, and I thought, okay, I'll just do it on watercolor paper. But when I came to think about getting the paper out and then taping it on board and having that board in front of me with the watercolor paper, it all suddenly felt really proper and real, and you had to do a good job. And I started to get really worried about messing it up, and not just on paper, but the fact that it was going to be in front of the camera. Things like, what are people going to think if it's really bad? Doing bad art and the potential of failing in front of camera is really scary. I totally get it now when other YouTubers go, this thing is really scary, because it is. It's like you're walking on a tightrope all of a sudden rather than just strolling along. And I haven't been able to resolve that fear or find a way to make it less stressful or scary for me. So today I'm gonna just take a break from that urban sketching kind of journey and focus on creating the paintings for my Patreons. Each month I paint a set of mini paintings, usually abstract paintings, that get sent out to my dear Patreons at the start of each month. I've got in mind my trademark ultramarine blue color with some maybe gold gilding. I've never done gold gilding before, but I thought this would be an awesome opportunity to give it a go. So I would love your company for that. And if you see me do something completely wrong or whatever, then please do let me know, because this is my first time doing it. So this is the gilding stuff I have. I have this roll of gilding thing here. Then I have two types of gilding medium, and then I have these sheets of gilding sheets. So this is this kind of color. Whoa, it's really delicate. Okay, really delicate. Standard imitation gold, loose 25 leaf. That's good to know. And that looks like this very delicate thing. So delicate. Wow. Okay. So I'm going to try using the Handover Wonder Size, and I'm guessing it's a little bit like masking fluid in that you don't want to use an expensive brush. Probably wasn't a good idea to shake this too much either. Yeah, so don't, wow, it has a strong smell. That is a very strong smell. If you're sensitive to smell, whew, definitely want to use with gas mask. Okay, this one doesn't smell half as bad as this one, so if you are sensitive to smell, I recommend this over this. I mean, it's only a sample size of 2. There might be other ones that are even less smelly or odorless, but out of these 2, if you're over in Jackson website and trying to find a gilding medium and smell is a concern, don't get this one. This one is really strong. This one really gets up your nose. This one is just like an old paint smell, so it's not as bad. So my plan with this month's Patreon is to do a blue background with some gold gilding, and for that I'm going to paint 2 layers of blue to get a nice solid blue background, and then have a play around with what kind of gold gilding shape I want to put on the images. I always create 2 designs for Patreon because the $50 tier Patreons get 2 paintings, and I want to make sure that the 2 images are different enough that it's interesting to receive both. I definitely feel more confident when I'm playing around with abstract painting ideas. I just have fun putting color down and thinking about concepts and stuff way more than doing more figurative stuff. I can just get into it and get lost in all that color, which is just joyful to me. And also having this monthly mini paintings to create is a great way to keep me thinking of new ideas and keep me more playful and experimental, because each month I want to make it different so that people don't feel they're receiving the same kind of paintings month after month after month. So I've had a go at gilding. It turns out it's a lot easier than I thought. However, between these two, this is the smelly one and this is the not so smelly one. However, this is not as easy to use as this in terms of putting the gilding on. This was the sheet I tested it with, and this was the Handover Wonder size, and this side is the Omoline Gilding medium. There is a strange trick you have to do with this one where you have to breathe on it and then you put the gold gilding on. Without breathing on it, it's not tacky, and that can be a lot of hit and miss. Whereas this is you just put the gilding on and it'll stay in place. So I think I'm gonna go with the Hanover Wonder size just because it's more reliable, and just wear a breathing mask. And then these are the designs I came up with for this month's Patreon. And I'm thinking that these two definitely stand out a lot more than the stripy ones. So that's what I will be doing. First though, I have to put a second layer of blue down on all the squares. And then once that's dry, I'll get on with doing these. Okay, real talk time. While that paint's dry, I want to talk to mostly the more mature ladies out there about something, and that is I think I'm becoming premenopausal, which is like freaking me out a little bit. But a friend of mine emailed me and just casually mentioned menopause and what she was going through, and I was like, hold on a second, that's exactly what I'm going through. So I looked it up and I'm pretty sure I am, but I want you guys' opinion on it. So what I've been going through, certainly in the last month or two, is things like not being able to sleep well at all. So I've been like waking up like 5 times a night for no real reason. And then I get really hot in the middle of the night, which has never happened to me before. I usually wrap up warm to go to bed and I just stay in that state all night, whereas now guaranteed I have to take all my warm layers off in the middle of the night. I'm struggling with memory. I've definitely noticed that in the last 2 months that my memory isn't as good as it used to be in terms of like recall, but of things that I know I knew, but also new things that I know I should know by now, like pigment codes of certain colors that I use all the time. Stuff just won't go in my head. I've also become irrationally irritable. Like all of a sudden I'll become irritable at something that I know would have never bothered me before, and I know I have way more patience than that. I've also got very tired. I quite often have to have a lie-in because I just haven't had a good night's sleep. My skin has got extremely dry. I don't know what's going on. I used to have to only moisturize like every other day. Now I moisturize twice a day and my skin still gets dry. So please explain to me what that's about. And I'm freaking out, guys, because I didn't grow up around my family. I never saw my female relatives go through this. So I don't really have many people I can talk to this about. But if you guys have any advice on whether it is premenopause or not, if you have any kind of advice or help or suggestions, then that is more than welcome. I don't want to go down the hormone replacement treatment blah blah route. If I can do this as naturally as possible, that would be awesome. So I've already ordered some supplements that are supposed to help with menopausal symptoms. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. But thank you especially to the men folks out there watching this to get through this far into the lady talk part of this week's vlog. Hello, it is Thursday afternoon now, and I took the morning off with my husband and we went for a walk at the Royal Botanical Gardens in Edinburgh, which is my favourite, especially in the winter because they have several warm tropical glass houses, which is a heaven sent on a walk on a winter's day. I also got to feed Marley, who is a semi-homeless cat that lives in the gardens that we go and feed when we can. He is a very friendly cat, so if you see him, do give him a stroke because as you can see, he loves a good cuddle. Back in the studio, these were the paintings at the end of yesterday, and today I just have to remove the masking tape off each piece, sign it, and then put it in their packaging so they are ready to send off at the start of next month. I'm really proud of how these came out. It was my first time trying gilding, and I have to say it is very, very satisfying. It's wonderful, especially when you are a watercolor artist. It's really hard to find a good gold watercolor, and it just feels good to be able to put down a good, solid, very shiny gold color down on paper. It was also fun to kind of dig out the design from the sheet that is placed on the card by brushing off all the excess gilding to see how they have turned out. I hope you enjoyed this week's vlog. Thank you for coming with me while I learned to use a new fountain pen and then try to learn how to do gold leaf gilding. They were both a lot of fun, and I'm so glad I spent this week doing these things. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, then please do give it a thumbs up. Do let me know what you have been up to this week. I would love to know what art you have created. Okay, I'm off and I will see you in the next video. Bye!